Hi, good morning everyone. This is Nancy Lynn Braswell. I am mainly a quilter, but I love to work on junk journals. I really started working on them a couple of years ago, but just over this COVID have really gotten into working with them. I am kind of new to this, figuring out what and where to put my camera and all that, so kind of bear with me. I had just mailed out a couple of my journals to a couple of people, and they were like, "Oh, Nancy, you need to do a video on these." And I was like, okay, there's so many good videos, people out there who are doing these, but this is my version. This is going to be a new junk journal. I had just finished putting a lot of the parts together, and I thought, well, as I'm going to start putting it together, this might be a good point to start. Haven't named her yet. I don't know what she is, but she is got a leather binding. This is a burlap. It came from a paper pack, and I will put it on the when I finish with it, I'll put it so that you guys can find what the name of it was. I did sew this, and now I've gotten these other pieces. I just recently finished some tea dyeing, and I did some envelopes. This I'll show you guys in a minute. These are some of the things that I've kind of gotten started to help the process along. These are little journal cards that we'll be working with. This is a little folder with some pieces in it that I've gotten done already. This one is a little mini journal book. You could take it and put it in your pocket. And so that's where this one is, and I still haven't found my sweet spot to get up to you guys up there. Maybe right there. I've started on a bookmark. This little one, it's a piece of leather that I had, and I've started putting it together. I still need to work on the ends. It's been sewn around, so it's ready to go. I always, as a Christian, try to put a cross. See, I have a hard time with this, finding out where the sweet spot is. Right there. I need to put an X on that. This is a cross. I usually try to do a cross. This is the start of my cross. Any of these things that you guys see, and if you want me to do a little tutorial on how we're doing it, holler. Just put the thing in there and we will definitely do that. Now this is one of my first signatures, and this is also from that country pack, and I have sewn around the edges, and I have gathered my pages together. I have not trimmed this down or anything, so that will be one of the things I'll show you guys. On this one, I have trimmed my pages. This is also from that country packet. I've made a couple of little things in here. Both little tearaway pads. This one, the pad's on the back. This one, I've gotten all the pages. They're pretty well cut down to size. There's a good mixture of things in here. I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to put the envelopes in there, but I will. And there is going to be the outside of the journal. I don't know what I'm putting on the cover yet. I also have been busy. I've been cutting out lots and lots of ephemera. These are some of my little paintings that I've made into little journal cards. There's all kinds of little things in here for us to put into this junk journal. There are some more crosses that I've gotten made to go into other journals. Lots of word tags and stuff like that are ready to go. And there's that pail. And then I also have this pail, and this pail has word stuff in it, bigger pieces, pieces of scraps, all kinds of little goodies. Some little ephemera that's already cut out, ephemera. There's some appliques, there's some fabric. I also have other couple of pieces of fabric that I thought might go in there. This, I just bought some new sheets and through the big box store, and they sent me, I have it delivered, and they kind of changed it up, but I thought some of my stuff has some medallions on it, so I thought somewhere I might be able to cut this little piece. This was the bag that the sheets came in, so I thought maybe this would also fit into there. So this is where we're going. I'm not sure where we're going to end up, how it's going to be, but I hope we have a fun time getting there. And like I said, don't be afraid to say, whoa, Nance, how about showing us how you did that, or anything like that. I'm going to hold on to this to be my second one to work on, where this one I already have most of the stuff. I'm going to put away this, and this one's a little different for me because it's a hardcover one. A lot of my ones that I make are soft covered, and I don't know if you can get a good look at that or not. I don't know if the lighting is bright, but this is one of mine that I did make, and usually I do sew my covers, but I decided to do one. This one's got one of the little hardcover little small journals in it. Also, these are jelly printed that I usually use most of the time for my journal covers, and then it has all kinds of little goodies inside, and maybe we'll go through it one day and see the stuff that's inside of here. But this is typical. These are some of my pieces. Here's some more stuff. There's all kinds of goodies in here. Another bookmark. There's a little thing that tells who it's handmade from. And so that's, I've been using the soft covered journals. So using the hardcover journals is a little new for me. So we'll see how it goes. So far I like it. I like the strength of it. But we're going to start here. I thought this cover was really pretty. I like the fact that it had some lace so that we can incorporate some lace into it. It's kind of a sunflowery type feeling. So this is where we're going for country. And like I said, I already have the little book. I still haven't decided what I'm going to put for little dangles on here. So I've left these a little bit longer so that I have the ability to add on whatever I need to add on to it. This one we'll be working on. This I need to make the little booklets to go inside. Oh, don't do that. Don't stick it on one of your ink pads because it will stain. And like I said, this is a little book cover. This one is done. And it has all the things. It says creative and it says lovely on it. And it has some tags, and they've also got some little ties on them. And it's got more tags over here so that people can write on the back of them little messages to someone or a little something, whatever they're going to use this for. And on the back it says, "You're the best." Like I said, this has got a lot of inspirational little quotes in it. Lovely. I think that I'm going to enjoy using this set. So we'll see. It's not all about the set. It's just where I start from. and then I go from there. Now these are the pages. I've used some legal paper in here, lots of tea dyed. I also have some graph paper in here. And this was from a Japanese pattern book, and I decided to use that. Now I have gessoed over each page so that it knocks it back a little bit, and that it will allow some tooth when you're writing on it. Like I said, I have these envelopes, and I know that I want to stick them in here some way, but I haven't figured that one out yet. We'll do that as we go along. And then of course it's just the opposite going the back way. Right now all my book pages are from one book that I read when I was in college, and it was an excellent book, and it's really yellowed, kind of pretty, so it's really showing its age. And we'll start from there. Okay, we're back. This is the tea dyed envelopes that I did, and once I got wet, I undid the gluing on them. That way I figured it got all the way through. I didn't have to worry about the glue sticking and me not being able to open these again. I did both of them like that. Works most of the time. Every so often you'll get a little spot that sticks. This one I probably did too soon. And you look at it. So this kind of gives me more of an option, because I could fold this different ways. I could do different things with it. I'm going to use it as a basic envelope. I just need to decide where I want to fold it to give me the most options with it. I could just put it in, find the midpoint, seal this all up, cut at the ends and use these as little pockets, and then decorate it up on all the sides all the way around it, and add extra pockets to it if I wanted to. And I'm really thinking that's where I'm going to lean towards, and I think we'll do that one first. My good old paper scissors, and all I'm going to do is just take just a bit off of the end so that we will have, so now I have to be careful because of course I didn't glue it down first. That might be something that you might want to do before you start cutting your ends. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to glue this envelope back together again, and I'm just going to put a small piece of glue right along the edge just to hold it down. And you want to do that before you cut your ends. And I am going to glue this top down also, only because I want the pockets to be on the side on this one. Always put your cap back on your glue, and I lay mine down so at least it gives it half a chance to be down there. And now we're going to cut the ends. And now that way I'll have a pocket on either end. And while it's gluing, so that it doesn't glue together on me at all, you know, that never happens, but it does. This is my one that I had already started cutting the ends. Yeah. So I'm waiting for that glue to dry so that I can go back and start on that one again. Okay, so these have had a chance to dry, and now I need to kind of think about where I want them. I know I don't want both of them here in the middle. I want them spread out a little bit. Maybe it's kind of a little peekaboo surprise. So I was thinking maybe in between these yellow ones. And now I can pull it over and have a small envelope on one side and a larger on the other. Or I can do it exactly in the middle. This one I do believe I'm going to do exactly in the middle, and so I'm just going to take that, make sure my ends are nicely creased, and I'm going to sit this right in there as part of my signature. Now the second one, I think I'm going to put right in here in between these pages, and I think I'm going to make a smaller pocket and a larger pocket on this one, just to have a little variation. Match your sides up, make sure you're at the end. My scissors are always handy, so I always use my scissors. I like this nice big red handle because hopefully most of the time I can find it. I'm going to sit this in here. Now this is going to poke out a little bit at the end, but I can always trim that up later if I decide that I want to change that a little bit. Now, I could have done it this way. I think I might do. Change my bend up just a little bit so that I'm looking at the pretty side instead of the folded side. Alright, so now I have all my stuff in here. I like to work and put my pieces in once I know where my pages are. I could work on it now, but I do find that I do like it. So now what we've got to do is get all this stuff to where it fits into nicely into the folded edge. We don't want any wild ones out there. And that feels like that's folding very nicely. Scoot that down just a little. I'm going to use one of my binder clips to kind of hold all that in place. Now, I went out and bought one of these. I absolutely love it. I'm not 100% used to using it yet, but I do like where it's going. Now what I am going to do is kind of just put some points so that I have something to aim at when I'm going for it. I'll know that I want my first one about a ½ inch down. Now Pam at Paper Outpost had an excellent idea about, so you always know which one is the top and which one is the bottom, is when you're making these for your binding, put one up closer to the top, so these two are closer, and then your one down here you want further away, so that as I look at this, I always know that this is my top edge. Excellent point, Pam. Thank you so much. Hold it again, make sure I haven't lost any of my pages. It's all nicely snug in there. Now I'm going to bring, now I'm going to use the larger hole, the 3/16, just to give me a little bit more to work with. Now, what I'm going to try and do is get that point, you'll see it come down, and I want to make sure that it's right on this. This is probably the hardest part of this whole process for me. You guys probably don't know, but I'm legally blind and I have no depth perception. So trying to find, and they're always off just a little. Oh, the sun is shining on me today. We got both of those. Don't brag too soon, Nancy. All right, we have all three. Now this is a pretty full, chunky little thing, so it does have it, but if you can see how nicely the holes come in here. I am going to get us some thread and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. I decided I was going to use some of this twine, seeing I'm going with more of a country theme on this. Now to measure this, I'm going to do it 3 times. I always do a little bit extra. 3 times the width of the book and that little extra. I like this big tapestry needle to do this. It does go through the holes, makes it a little bit easier, and hopefully this will to pull it through. Now I've still got my clamp on there, and hopefully my holes are still all aligned. And I'm going to come through from the back to the front, and I'm going to go this way out. So I'll leave a tail. I'm going to come up through the second hole and pull through. Come down through the third hole. See how nicely that crocodile does? It just leaves a nice good sized hole. And now I'm going to come back through this hole, but I'm going to come back through on the opposite side of the twine that's in there. And the reason I want to do that is so that my knot will hold when I pull it in there. Now I give it quite a good little tug just to make sure that everything is nice and secure. I'm going to take my needle off and put it back in my handy dandy little spot so that I don't lose it. I am going to tie it once, nice and tight. Now I'm going to come back the opposite way of what I just tied it so that my knot will be secure. Now I've got quite a bit here. I'm just going to even these up. And then that way I can decide what kind of dangles or anything I'm going to put on here. And so now I can undo my binder clip. And now I have my first signature put together. It's off a little. It wasn't as good with my holes as I thought, but it's perfect for me. So now we have all of our pages securely held in. And now we can start with the fun part, the decorating. We have our little pocket. We have our larger pocket over here. And then we have all of our other ephemera, another pocket already. Now, everybody does this differently as to where we start with it. The central page I like to kind of keep for the end. Excuse me. Hi there, we're back. I decided maybe we'd start on this little envelope first. It's a little quick and easy project. I decided I was going to use some washi tape, but I decided that I would go ahead and maybe use some fabric just to strengthen up the edge of it. I'm going to cut a small piece. And tear it off. That way I have this piece to work with. And I'm going to glue this into, this will just tighten up this little end of this pocket so that it's not going in there. I'm going to use my fabric tack, but I'm also going to stick in a small piece of paper right in there just so that I don't glue the two together. And this is, I lost my sweet spot again. Here we go, fabric tack. And I'm just going to put a small amount right down here. Fabric tack folds very quickly, and now I'm going to flip this over. And hopefully, no, Nancy, it didn't cut enough. I'm going to clip this here at this end. Clip this here at this end. Make sure it's nice and sealed. Just go put back and put a little drop in there. This fabric tack holds wonderfully. And switch it. And am I going to be able to, this is going to be a little short, so we'll cut us another piece.